According to Dr. Joe Dispenza, most people's biology is largely determined by their past experiences. If you are not actively envisioning a new possibility in your life, you are left with old thought patterns and emotions that are deeply ingrained in your brain. In order to change this, it is crucial to start believing in a future that you cannot yet see or experience with your senses. By visualizing and focusing on this future enough times in your mind, your brain will actually begin to change and adopt new neural pathways that reflect this new possibility. Recent research in neuroscience has revealed that the brain can be changed simply through the act of thinking. When you start to think about a new possibility, your brain begins to fire in new sequences and patterns that you have not experienced before. By planning your behaviors and mentally rehearsing who you want to become, you can begin to install new neurological circuits in your brain. This process transforms your brain from being a record of the past to a map of the future. Once you begin to emotionally embrace your future before it has even occurred, you are no longer waiting for external events to happen in order to feel a certain way. For example, you are not waiting for your healing to feel wholeness, or for your success to feel empowered. Instead, you are consciously choosing to experience these emotions in the present moment. This is what Dr. Dispenza calls the quantum model, which is about causing an effect, rather than waiting for external circumstances to create an effect. By teaching your body how to emotionally feel the future before it has occurred, you can effectively rewire your brain and signal new genes in new ways. This requires unlearning old habits and patterns of behavior and creating new ones. In neuroscience, this is known as pruning synaptic connections and sprouting new connections, unfiring and unwiring, and refiring and rewiring. By unmemorizing old emotions that are stored in the body and reconditioning the body to a new mind and new emotion, you are signaling new genes that will transform your body to look like the experience has already occurred. It's important to note that habits are simply redundant sets of automatic, unconscious thoughts, behaviors, and emotions that are acquired through repetition. By the time we reach 35 years old, we have become a set of memorized programs. This means that our bodies and minds are functioning on autopilot, and we are often not aware of our own habits and patterns of behavior. However, when we experience crisis, trauma, or loss, we are sometimes able to see ourselves through the eyes of someone else. This moment in neuroscience is known as metacognition. It is the moment when we start paying attention to how we think, act, and speak. We begin to become aware of the emotions that we live by and start to observe those states of mind and body. When we do this, we are no longer just a program running on autopilot. We become the consciousness that is observing that program, and we begin to objectify our subjective self. Dr. Dispenza's message is that we don't have to wait for crisis or trauma to start creating a better future for ourselves. By choosing to think, act, and feel differently, we can begin to transform our lives today. If we do this enough times, it will become the new habit, and we will be able to create a new, more fulfilling future for ourselves. It's important to remember that we may not be able to control everything in our external world, but we can control our inner world. By choosing to not react to external events, we can stop memorizing old emotions and patterns of behavior that are no longer serving us. I hope you enjoyed today's message. See you in the next video.